If you ever feel like life's happening too fast and you've got no time to cry, you're in the right place. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of No Time to Cry. I'm your host, Shannon, and thank you for coming back. We had a week off. I needed to recover from my hen do. I don't know who I thought I was kidding, thinking I was going to come back on the bank holiday Monday and be able to record an episode, because that was not happening. Before we get into kind of the Hen Do recap and everything like that, which I promised I would give, I want you to go and follow us on social media. And it's not like any other time that I ask you to do that. It is because this is going to be our last episode for a little bit. And that's because I'm getting married, as you all know. And I would have loved to have done a few more episodes between now and the kind of next two weddings. But realistically, I am up to my ears in wedding prep, new job stuff. I'm doing a lot more traveling for my job at the moment. And that alongside wedding stuff, it's just a little bit hectic. So the right thing for me to do is to put the podcast on hold, put an end to this season of me being on my own. Maybe next season we'll have guests, maybe we'll have another host, who knows? But I want you to follow on social media, because I'm still going to be posting on the podcast page. I'm going to be reposting about previous episodes, but I'm also going to be vlogging different bits for the wedding. So if you've been interested in the wedding content along this kind of podcast journey, episode after episode, giving you little bits of updates, make sure you're still following between now and the end, or few weeks into July, which is where I'm getting married. It will be less than 2 weeks when this episode goes out. And that's my UK wedding. And then at the end of June, I've got my Greek wedding. And between now and then, there's a lot of shit that needs to be done. And I'm happy to kind of keep you guys up to date with that along the way. It may be a different format to what you've been receiving it through via the pod. So that was my initial heads up, just to give you guys, a little bit of info before I get into this episode. So follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, wherever you are, even YouTube. I still do shorts on YouTube. Anything I post on video wise onto TikTok or Instagram also goes onto YouTube. So if you're subscribed there, you'll still see our content. But hopefully that's not too much of a shock. I think I've been kind of hinting to it in the last few episodes that there needed to be a cut-off point where I said enough's enough. I got to move. I've got to have a little bit of a break ahead of the weddings. I would have loved to have kind of kept you guys right up until the end. But if you listen to last week's episode, it's clear that my head needs some space, and it needs to be this, unfortunately. There's nothing else I can put down at the moment. But I like having a gap from it. Nowhere near the last gap that we had. We're talking about a couple of months. But it gives me time to rethink the pod, have a think about what I might want to change. You guys can send in some recommendations, anything you want to see. Do you want to see me interview people? Do you like listening to me natter on my own? Do you like when we have different hosts come on, like Paula, etc.? Because that gives me an idea of what you guys want to see. And maybe I'll put some polls out on social as well, just so I can get a little bit more to grips with what you're after. But that aside, not weekend just gone, weekend before, I had my big hen do. Not my family hen do, which you've all heard about. This was my big 3-night hen do in the Lake District with all of my friends and some of my family. And I honestly had the best time. Like, even on the lead up to hen do, like, I felt like I enjoyed planning my outfits, what I was going to wear. I had something different each day that was like bridal, quite casual actually, other than the Saturday night. Little things that I could put on, like jumpers with bride on, like wifey, what was the other one? Wifey material or wifey club, something like that. And I just had so much fun. And my sister and my bridesmaids had organised like lots of like different little bits, and one of which was going to an alpaca experience. Now, anyone that knows me one knows I'm obsessed with all animals, but two will know alpaca is up there in terms of my favorite animals. They're so fluffy. I love them. My goal in life is to have a house with enough land on that I can own my own alpacas. You don't even need that much space, but to be fair to them, you need space, if that makes sense. So you want to make sure they've got enough room to run around and roam and have fun. And I just was in my absolute element. Like, I've probably posted some videos and stuff, and I'll post some more on this on my podcast page rather than my personal, because some of them are on my personal, which some of you will see and some of you won't. And I just honestly, I was like, I want an alpaca. I want that alpaca. Then I'll go into the Saturday in more detail, but on the Sunday we went for this nice walk, and there was baby lambs, like teeny tiny little lambs everywhere. I met some curly pigs, like pigs with curly hair. I also wanted to take them home. I met an emu. Less keen on the emu, not gonna lie. Slightly scary, slightly prehistoric in the way it moves and its mouth. Wish no harm upon it. Not sure I'd want an emu, if I'm honest. Maybe that's where I draw the line. But yeah, it was just incredible, like super wholesome, but also chaotic. And I feel like that is me. Like, I'm always wanting to do like super wholesome stuff. I'm always kind of going pottery painting or going to a spiritualist church or going on nice walks. But then when your girl wants to party, she can party hard. And that's like the other side of the coin. That's like the Saturday night. And I certainly had the best time ever. The house was incredible that we stayed in. Like, big shout to Supreme Escapes, which was the company that we booked through. And the house was just incredible. It was in Cockermouth. Hilarious considering it's a Hen Do. But the town was actually just really cute, and just like a really small little town with little coffee shops and different, bakeries and art shops and cute little pubs. It was just the perfect place to go. And I will tag the house if anybody, because I know a couple of people have been like, oh my God, where is that? Because it's great if you've got any big group of people. And there was 13 of us. So it was great for like big groups, and it's family friendly, and the house is massive, and you're not on top of each other. And yeah, I just couldn't have kind of wished for a better hen weekend in terms of what I wanted. I'm not someone who likes to go out in big groups. I like a night out, don't get me wrong. It's not something I do very often, but I do like it, but not really in big groups. It's like herding chickens. It's chaotic. You can't see where everyone is. You're surrounded by other people that you don't give a shit about. You're not bothered about your evening. If I was in hen stuff as well, then you're going to be talking to people all night that you don't really want to talk to. It's just not my idea of a good time. I just wanted to spend time with my really, really close friends, and like literally two members of my family. It was my auntie and my sister, who are both very close in age to me. And it was just about exactly that. So like Friday night, we travelled up there. I travelled up with my friend Nick, who you guys have heard loads about, and we just had a good time, like chatting the drive up, listening to music. My sister, my auntie, and one of my bridesmaids, Chloe, was like setting the house up, all decorations that my other bridesmaid, Paula, who you guys have all heard of, has met. So it was like a proper nice event. Like, everybody was kind of like turning up at different times. There was no pressure on the Friday. It was very much get there when you get there, chilled, no plans, drinks are flowing, like, and then Saturday's the kind of big day, and then Sunday was again more of a chilled, people are going to be hungover, let's do some films, let's do pajamas. A couple of the girls went home on the Sunday, and then Monday was like pretty much pack up and get gone. So yeah, it was lovely, but I did promise some gossip. Now, I'm going to call it safe gossip, because what happens on the Hen Do stays on the Hen Do. But I'm going to talk about the life and soul of the party, Miss Nicola Moran. Now, lots of you have heard about my friend Nick. She is the lovely lady that I go to the spiritualist church with. I go on holiday with multiple times a year in many cases, certainly in the last few years. Jamie, her partner Chris, and I go on holidays together. We also do Latin lion dance together. She's obsessed with animals as much as I am, and none of my other friends had really met Nick before. I haven't told her I'm talking about this, by the way, but she won't mind. I know Nick. And I think Nick is like, we are the same person in a lot of ways. We're different in some ways, but we are very much the same person. So I just thought she'll fit in great with my friends. Everyone's going to love her. And they did. They just thought I had hired her because she was such good entertainment. But they were like, there is no way there is another person like you in the world, Shannon. You are a one-off. There's no one that gives a shit about animals as much as you do. There's no one that's like as crazy as you are and talks about the things that you do and like dances like a maniac, sings like a maniac, like doesn't have any kind of, I don't know, like just doesn't really, it's not bothered, like will just do what they want to do in that moment. And they thought I'd hired her, like convinced she's AI or she's been hired for entertainment because there's no way this girl exists. And for me, I was like, this is just Nick. She's just like me. Like, that's why I get on with her so well. And they were like, exactly. How is that the case? So Nick was my MC for the whole of the Saturday night. We could not get the microphone off her. To be honest, I didn't try. It felt like I had my own personal hype woman, as did all of my friends who were dancing around to R&B music with Nick on the mic, telling everyone how amazing they are. What I can assume was rapping, maybe it wasn't. Maybe she was just mumbling. But honestly, and I know that she won't care when you kind of talk about it, she was the life and soul of the party. And I've never had so many people say to me afterwards, oh my God, your friend Nick, she's fucking brilliant. And just big shout out to Nick, because obviously I've got my bridesmaids and my sister. A huge shout out to my sister and kind of what she did that weekend and getting things organized and just being a really, really good big sister and kind of helping other girls out and making sure that things kind of went swimmingly where maybe they weren't going so swimmingly in that moment. And everyone was like, wow, your sister's a good sister. So big hype to Demi on that. But yeah, Nick just kind of, we were sharing a room as well. And one of my friends, Kirsty, who we'll come back to actually, was like, they were helping clear up on the Saturday night. So I had a singer on the Saturday who is incredible. And I big shout out to Rachel. I will tag your page on this. She is an incredible singer. She does weddings, she does baby showers, she does anything. She's local to Liverpool but she does travel as well. She's absolutely incredible singer. And she just got such amazing vibes going. And I had my other friends that had kind of organized like a cocktail making session, like just put it on themselves and like handed cocktails out. We played Mr. and Mrs. Jamie and I were both shit at it. I actually think I would have got a lot more of the questions right if Jamie had answered them right. No diss to you, Jamie, but you were wrong on some of those answers. No, I'm messing. They were really, really funny. It was great night. And like I say, everyone kind of put into that, like from Paula ordering the decorations, for Demi putting them up, to the girls that kind of would come along and said, right, let's do a cocktail making thing, let's do these questions, let's host this, the singer. Just an incredible time, like getting to spend time with people that I don't get to see all the time as well. Like one of my friends, Chloe, who's my bridesmaid, she lives in London. I don't get to spend much time with her, or as much time as I would want to, because obviously we live at different ends of the country. So yeah, between there's not a single person there who I just think, wow, I didn't have like a great time with you and it wasn't an incredible kind of weekend. Don't get me wrong, there's always things that could go better, but that's just life, isn't it? Like for me, it was a perfect weekend for me. and I had the best time, and that's kind of what matters, right? My hen do. But all the girls got on so well, which I think is always kind of stressful when you've got friends like joining together. But what I was saying is Kirsty and Saskia, who are two of my very, very good friends. They were clearing up on the Saturday night, so everybody had gone to bed, like called it a night. I was very much, poor Jamie had received multiple video calls of me singing Oasis to him, which, I mean, he's a better man than me because he was actually in bed swaying along to my not so dulcet tones at that point in the evening. And they were saying I could hear you and Nick in bed cackling, like laughing like two school children. And that's pretty much how we spent the whole weekend, just laughing and having fun and not sleeping very much and then getting up early because I don't sleep very well, which you guys all know. So no matter what time I go to bed, I'm still going to wake up at 7 a.m. in the morning and want to get out of bed. And Nick kind of followed me on that journey, whether that's what she does naturally, I'm not sure, but she definitely did that weekend with me. So yeah, it was just, like I say, I can't kind of wipe the smile from my face when I talk about that hen weekend because I just had the best time, like from all the animals to the actual night itself, where I just got to dance around like an absolute fool without having to worry about like bumping into strangers or people like being like, oh God, look at all those girls like taking up the whole entire space of the club doing Irish dancing. Like, if I want to do an Irish jig, let me do an Irish jig. If I want to shake my ass, let me shake my ass without worrying about any repercussions. And that's exactly what I did. And I had the best time. So yeah, just a big kind of shout out to all of my friends and kind of turning up and being there. And I think for me, like, I put so much value in my friendships and kind of what they give me, and every single person there. And I think I've said this before, like, they are the type of friends who are low maintenance, like low effort friends. And that doesn't mean that we don't have incredible times. It means that I don't have to worry when I'm with them. Like, it's just, I get to enjoy myself. I get to have a good time. I get to chill out. And it's nice for the kind of groups to mix as well, because I've got like groups from friends that I used to work with, like friends that I've met individually, friends that I've grown up with my whole life. My auntie, who is one of my best friends, even though she's my auntie because we're so close in age. And then my sister, who we have built like the best friendship in the last kind of probably decade. Prior to that, we used to pretty much batter each other. So it's like, as we've grown up, we've kind of created like this really like cool friendship that we didn't have before. And actually, the last time I was in that sort of setting with my sister with like a bigger group, she would have been one of the shyest people there. Like, that was not her that weekend. And even like my auntie and Chloe, who have known Demi a long time, were like, wow, Demi is like so much more confident now than kind of when she used to be, but in a very nice way. Like, it's nice to see her like that and see her, even though she's my big sister, like, I feel like I was maybe always like the bigger character and maybe looked out for her a little bit more. And it was nice, like this week, the weekend just gone, just to have like, oh, okay, my big sister's like a big sister, which I know is silly, but it's just kind of, I suppose, siblings grow up in very kind of different ways, don't they? But it was nice to have her there and also like know that she was taking care of things and doing things. And I think she enjoyed that as well, because I'm so hyper independent and have been since I was about 2 days old. I suppose she doesn't ever get to action. It's not that she isn't a good big sister. I just rarely let anyone kind of be that figure for me. So no, it was gorgeous, and it just filled me up, like filled my cup up in terms of love and care. And I mean, I've been drained since it, and that comes back to me being like an introverted extrovert. So like emotionally I felt full, like it felt so nice to be around people, but like physically and from a mental capacity, it's taken me like a good week and a half to like rebuild myself and start talking to people again and having conversations, because I kind of get like, Okay, I've had my time with my people. I need to spend some time on my own and kind of rebuild my social battery back up, they say. But no, it's been good, and I've had so like looking at the pictures, and I had my Polaroid camera there, and I just had the best time. So I think if you've are like me and are usually like a bit of a, I want to say control freak in those situations, but probably, if I'm honest, and that's just of the basis like I don't like people doing things for me. And I know I spoke about that on another episode where asking people to do things for me is something I feel brings up a lot of emotions around selfishness for me, which isn't the case. I know it's not selfish to have people do stuff for you, and I certainly don't feel like people are taking advantage of me when I do stuff for them. But it's just something I'm not kind of good at, and I'm trying to get better at. But actually, it was really nice, and it was a really nice experience for me. And like, yeah, it felt like even though I felt like I couldn't get any closer to my friends, I feel like I am. Like I feel like it kind of to do a little trip together and feel like you're having sleepovers and be in each other's company in that way. Like it just kind of brings you all really close together. And I'm super excited for the wedding because it's all of the same girls that are all going to be at the wedding and already all know each other now. And, it's lovely. So, yeah, happy vibes, good vibes. So, one of the things I wanted to mention this week, now we've gone over the Hen Do, is it's actually Mental Health Awareness Week. So I suppose that maybe feeds in a little bit as to why I'm kind of putting the podcast down for a couple of months on the lead up to wedding. Like I think I overall can say I have enjoyed the being a bride process, but it's hard. And I feel like at the moment, I can't turn my head without being pinged with an email like, can you send us this? Can you do that? Can you do this? And Jamie's been kind of really helpful in, even if I have started the initial conversations, has kind of gone, well, I will write the email for you to send, or I will do this, because I think he can feel maybe getting a bit stressy about it at the moment. And I had my first kind of bridezilla moment last week over some tags for flip-flops, where my sister and mum are doing some flip-flops for me for the wedding and putting nice tags on them and stuff, and they're doing them a couple of weeks and were asking me for the tags, and I was like, I will do the tags, stop chasing me for the tags. Like, they'll get done, they're not the top of my priority. And I did say, I really appreciate what you guys are doing for me, but I've fucking got a lot to do, and tags are the last thing on my agenda. And poor Paula was like, oh, sort the tags. I'll do the tags for you. So I can feel myself just kind of feeling slightly overwhelmed. And I don't want to become that person where I'm, being slightly short with people or getting frustrated over things that I maybe don't care that much about. But because it's your wedding, you feel like you should. Like, am I really bothered about what a tag looks like on a flip-flop? Not really. But now I've made the commitment to do the flip-flops, I've got to fucking do it. It was like when I did my maths GCSEs and I got a B, but I was expected to get an A. And I said, oh, I'll resit it. And then I got halfway through and was like, I'm fucking happy with a B. Why am I still doing maths? That's what I feel like. Like I've made decisions to do certain things when maybe I had more brain space. And now I'm like, I don't even care. Like, do I just fucking put a ribbon on them? People can try them on. So no, I am appreciative, but when it just gets to like those little things, you're like, oh God, I'm losing my marbles over mundane crap. And starting a new job, and I know I touched on this, like I know it wasn't last week, but the week before, I do just feel like you get this kind of overload, like mentally, where you're trying to absorb so much information and it's just taking up a lot of mental space. And then because I'm going down to London quite a lot, I'm having to travel a fair bit, which again, I actually quite enjoy. It's just the timing of it. So I just need to kind of look after my mental health a little bit at the moment. And when you look at like what it takes to run a podcast, I feel like I'm not doing a good job at kind of putting content out there and getting things posted and hyping the podcast up the same way I was, 3 or 4 weeks ago. So rather than me doing a really crap job and keeping something going just because for the sake of it. And that I do really enjoy doing this, and I wouldn't do it if I didn't. I'd rather just kind of say, right, know your limits, Shannon. Like, you can't do everything. And we've spoke about that so much across all the different episodes, like putting boundaries in place and knowing when's the right time to say, I need to calm it a little bit. I need to put some things down. What's manageable for me? What isn't? And I think Mental Health Awareness Week was a big reminder of that for me. And I'm doing some things at work under kind of BU, under my disability, mental health, neurodiversity, long-term health conditions group that I look after. And I'm organising some stuff this month for that. And I thought to myself, even that, it's additional to what kind of my day job is and stuff. And it's really important to me, but it makes me quite reflective of, I'm giving people advice around not overdoing it, not burning yourself out, putting together kind of people coming in to talk about workplace mental health and disassociation. And I've kind of got to be aware of my own capacity as well. And I'm very, very good at kind of pushing myself right into the point just before I break and bringing it back. And I feel like I'm not there. I'm nowhere near the break point, but I can feel it coming. And I'd rather just say, not this time, baby. Hold your horses. I've also adopted a couple, well, I say adopted, I've got 2 wild ducks that I've started caring for, which is really a hyperfixation for me at the moment. And that's also taking up a lot of brain space. These are just the kind of things that happen in my life, guys. But yeah, I'm also trying to find time to make sure that the ducks are okay and care for them. And anyone that's on my personal social media will see the real commitment that I've given to these 2 ducks that have just turned up at my house and just like live here now. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on it because I think it's really important to kind of talk about mental health really openly. And as I say, I've maybe been a bit stressy. I think anyone that listened to last week's episode or what was the week before can kind of see me going like, oh, I've got decision overload. I can't, my brain's fuzzy. I don't know what to do. And I'm just, whoa, whoa, whoa. And, I had some time with my girls. I've had a chill and I'm still feeling a bit like that. So for me, it's like, okay, so cut some things, come back to it. Nothing's black and white. Sue, preach, my therapist who loves to tell me that. Just because I put the podcast down for a couple of months doesn't mean I'm going to do what I did last time, which was ghost it. I'm doing an official put down and then I'm going to pick it back up after the wedding. And I'm sure I will have a good couple of what will be probably maybe go just past the summer. It depends on timings because I don't know whether I need to have a look and think about whether I want to relaunch when everybody else is going to be off in the summer. Could be good for people to listen to on the beach, but also might be good just to pick up when everyone's back from holidays. So we'll see. We'll work out the timing. I'll keep you guys in the loop with it on socials. But look after yourselves. I'm the best at kind of preaching this sort of stuff. And I think it's important for you to see that I'm actioning it as well. And I'm not just talking shit to you guys about looking after yourselves and then not doing that myself. Like, I know I need to put stuff down, and the wedding, I kind of can't put that down, right? And my new job, I kind of can't put that down. So I've got to go, okay, well, the podcast can have a little break. And people do seasons with podcasts, right? I'm not the only one to kind of do a good stint and then put it down. And we have done a good stint this year. And I've loved engaging with you guys. I've loved how much feedback I've had on the episodes. And I definitely want to come back. So let's see. Keep your eyes out for how it comes back and what it looks like. And keep an eye out for polls and stuff, like I said. Bringing it back to the Hen Do for the TikTok of the week. I mentioned Miss Kirsty before, one of my friends. Now, for those of you that know Kirsty, will know that Kirsty is she comes across as a very unfearful woman, very courageous, very decisive. She's the kind of girl that you'd want behind you if someone was picking on you. She'd be the first one to say, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Just like salt of the earth, absolutely love her. She's a diamond. She is actually an emotional softie. So maybe I should have been prepared for this. But Saskia, and I will tag her TikTok because it's hilarious, filmed Kirsty continuously like an episode of The Office, at the alpaca experience. Now, when I tell you, Kirsty, not actually, but I'm going to call her pretty close, shat herself. I've never seen this girl scared of anything except for a fluffy animal with 6 teeth that are pretty chilled, albeit sometimes can be a little bit like aggressive with each other. She was so scared of these alpacas, and the video is so funny, and I'm going to tag it. You guys have to go and watch it. It's literally Saskia just going around filming her, watching her like. So that's my TikTok of the week, and a big shout out for Sassy for recording that because it's hilarious. And I had to kind of give it props this week because I've watched it so many times, and I've gone back and watched it again and again and again, and it's still the funniest thing I've ever seen. And maybe it's funny because I know her, but I just think it's funny anyway. So I hope you all enjoy that. And then I'm going to finish up on the thought of the week. And I am going to go back to something that I said on the first episode, and probably the same lesson, maybe in different words because I can't remember what I said, but I remember the gist of it, which is putting things down is not a failure. Knowing when to call something and to say, I know my limits, I know what I need to do, I need to take a break, is actually success. It's success in knowing yourself. It's success in putting yourself first. It's success in communicating and being able to tell people when enough's enough, you need a break, and having no shame in that. And I think it's just really, really important lesson to say, like, if you're feeling maybe how I've spoke about a little bit this episode, just slightly overwhelmed, too much going on, too much to do, is there is kind of no shame in saying, what do I need to put down and what needs to go on hold? And, choosing to step back is not giving up. It's choosing where your energy matters most and what you're going to put your energy into at the moment. And for me, obviously, my wedding matters most to Jamie at the minute. Like, that's kind of top priority for me, and making sure that we have a day that we both enjoy and getting into a mind space where we can get stuff done and just enjoy it. And protecting your peace around that, and protecting your peace around your energy and putting things on pause. I just think that is success. So success doesn't always look like brand new things and ticking a box. Like, sometimes it's putting stuff down, putting things on pause, and preserving your energy for what matters most. So that's that, guys. End of this season, end of this era of No Time to Cry. Let's see. When I come back, I will no longer be Shannon Hodgkiss. I will be Shannon Bowman, and I will be out of my fiance era into my wife era. So let's see if that makes any fucking difference at all, or whether I'm still an absolute head case. Who knows? Yeah, I just think it's nice to almost kind of say, okay, well, but like I said, when this comes out, I'll have less than 2 weeks before I'm legally Mrs. Bowman, at least. And then I got a kind of just over a month, like 6 weeks until I get to celebrate being Miss Bowman with everybody that Jamie and I love. And we were sat in bed last night, funny enough, kind of watching a film and then going, oh my God, in 2 weeks, we're going to be sat here doing the same, but we'll be married. I think Jamie was like, oh my God, in 2 weeks' time, we'll be sat here like watching a film, but you'll be Mrs. Bowman. How cool is that? Like, it's nice. And I want to enjoy those moments without thinking kind of I'm stressed or I'm run down or I'm, don't have the energy to kind of enjoy these little run up bits. And yeah, I hope you all come back. When I'm back, I want you guys to come with me. Come back to the podcast. Bring your friends, bring your family. And I kind of like the topics that we've covered this season, different to the season before where it was on grief, but maybe the format changes, maybe maybe there's guests, maybe there's someone else doing it with me. I don't know. Jamie still owes me an episode without doubt. So that will definitely come back. And maybe it's now we're married, let me introduce you to my husband. But yeah, I hope to see you all very, very soon. As I say, please keep following on socials and keep up to date. And I can't wait to see you all. Bye for now.